From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, February the 3rd, 2020. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas said this weekend that he was cutting ties with Israel over the newly released U.S. peace plan. He told an emergency meeting of the Arab League held in Cairo on Saturday, "We've informed the Israeli side that there will be no relations at all with them and the United States, including security ties." But today, Abbas seemed to slightly walk back those statements. The Times of Israel reported that Abbas told his cabinet meeting today, if the Americans continue with this project, the boycott is there as an option, a full boycott. The Times of Israel also said that a senior Palestinian official told them yesterday that security coordination continues with Israel. He said until now, the coordination is ongoing, but relations are extremely tense. The Arab League, by the way, voted unanimously against the peace plan yesterday, as did the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, a 57-nation group. Meanwhile, Israel's defense minister is making his first trip to the U.S. in that capacity to discuss the U.S. peace plan. Naftali Bennett will meet with his American counterpart, Mark Esper. They will also talk about regional security issues like Syria and Iran. Bennett has expressed his support of parts of the plan, like Israeli annexation, but is firmly against a Palestinian state. And Abbas reportedly said that he was willing to present a Palestinian plan for peace at the United Nations Security Council, which he is expected to address on February the 11th. French news agency AFP reported that the U.S. requested a closed-door meeting at the Security Council this Thursday for senior White House advisor Jared Kushner to present the plan and hear the council's position on it. Kushner addressed the Palestinians' opposition to the plan during an interview with an Egyptian television station this weekend, referring to the map unveiled by the U.S. as what a Palestinian state could look like. Kushner said if the Palestinians don't like where the line is drawn, they should come and tell us where they want to draw it. Kushner told Egyptian anchor Amer Adib they should come to the table, sit with the Israelis and say, look, we appreciate the gesture you have made. There are some major compromises you have never made before. These are the 4 or 5 or 6 things that we would like you to consider changing. And if you do this, you have a deal. That, Kushner said, is how people who are ready to have a state make deals. An Israeli border police officer was lightly injured today when he was hit by a Molotov cocktail during clashes with Palestinians in Hebron. He was able to put out the fire that ignited on his clothing and did not need medical attention. This follows a similar incident yesterday, also in Hebron. And several arson balloons were launched from Gaza into Israel today. One exploded in the backyard of a house at Kibbutz Kfar Aza in southern Israel. There were no injuries. The Islamic State claimed responsibility for an attack on a gas pipeline in the Sinai that enables the flow of gas between Egypt and Israel, detonating explosives next to the pipeline last night. The office of Israel's Energy Minister Yuval Steinitz said that gas was continuing to flow from Israel to Egypt, and it was working with relevant authorities to investigate the nature of the incident. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in Uganda today. He met with Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni to discuss strengthening bilateral cooperation in a number of areas, including health, water, and energy. Netanyahu also paid tribute to his brother, Yonatan Netanyahu, who was killed 43 years ago at the Entebbe airport in Uganda during the daring hostage rescue mission on July the 4th of 1976. The prime minister laid a wreath at the site. Netanyahu also asked Museveni to open an embassy in Jerusalem, to which the Ugandan leader replied, "We're studying it." Netanyahu also met in Uganda with the leader of Sudan, Abdel Fattah el-Burhan. The Prime Minister's office said that the two agreed to start a process to normalize relations between the countries, who do not have formal diplomatic ties. Well, Saturday marked the 17th anniversary of the Columbia disaster. The space shuttle Columbia exploded on February the 1st of 2003, killing all 7 crew members on board, including Israel's first astronaut, Ilan Ramon. Israel's official Twitter page paid tribute to Ramon and his fellow crew members this weekend. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS from Monday, February the 3rd at 7 o'clock, 3 panels discuss the biblical story of the flood and how it relates to contemporary challenges of climate change. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Mark Langfin, president of Americans for a Safe Israel. At 10, Professor Deborah Lipstadt talks about her latest book, Anti-Semitism Here and Now, with writer Barry Weiss. And coming up right after this newscast, it's Good Week Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, February the 3rd, 2020. I'm Teisha Bader.